The Information Nation. I'm your host, Ken. This is Orion Talk Radio, oriontalkradio.com, theinformationnation.com. For those of you who don't know, Maggie Rodden has joined the network here, and she is on Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. She also does a show on Sunday with the Unsolicited Opinion. It'd be worthwhile for you to tune in. And there's also another guy out there, does a program called The Sound of Freedom, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9, Ryan Big Daddy Brooks. And if you tune in tomorrow night, you'll probably find out why we're calling him Big Daddy. But that's another story for another day. Hey, remember last week I talked to everybody about the Republican Party and how they bent Ron Paul over and gave him a nice little pop in the keister, and how they took away basically your rights to do just about anything. You know, you can vote for a candidate, but they can take all of his people away from him. You know, it's a nice way to look at their communist way of doing things. And for those of you who are out there as Democrats going, yeah, see them Republicans, them cotton-picking Republicans, they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're just going to take away everybody's right to vote. They're going to take away the health care. They're going to take away everything. Well, let me tell you something. The DNC did it to you. Isn't that nice of them? That was so nice of the DNC to just bend you guys over and give you a little in the keister. Yeah, because the DNC, almighty nightmare in Charlotte, Democrats put God and Jerusalem back into their platform. Now, whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it, it's not a matter of what they did. It's a matter of how they did it. It's purely a matter of how they did it. You see, they had this voice vote, and they needed a 2/3 majority to put this back into their platform. In the first place, they knew they were in trouble as soon as people started finding out that they took out God. They took God out of the Democratic Party. Oh, and, people started getting upset about that. So then they went and tried to change the language. There were a few other things that they had taken out of the platform, which I'm not even going to go into because we could be here for the next 3 or 4 days discussing this. But this little portion here is really kind of neat because what they did, they had a voice vote. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what, rather than me sitting here trying to explain it to you, I'm going to play you a little 3-minute clip. And you decide as to how far they jammed it up your chocolate whiz-wang.
Chair recognizes the delegate from Ohio, the chair of the Platform Drafting Committee, former Governor Ted Strickland.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we suspend the rules to permit an amendment to the platform adopted by this convention last night.
Governor Strickland has made a motion on the floor to suspend the rules. Is there a second? A motion to suspend the rules to permit the amendment to the platform has been moved and seconded. This is a non-debatable motion requiring a 2/3 vote. All those in favor of suspending the rules, say aye. All those opposed, say no. In the opinion of the chair, there's been a 2/3 affirmative vote to suspend the rules.
All right, I'm going to pause it right here because I wanted you hear the difference between the yeas and the nays. You can hear how the majority of the people said, yeah, we're going to suspend the rules. Let's hear what the man's got to say, and we'll vote on whatever it is he wants to put up there. Let's continue.
Governor, would you like to make your motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This summer, I was proud to serve this party as the Platform Drafting Committee Chair. As the chair, I come before you today to discuss 2 important matters related to our party's national platform. As an ordained United Methodist minister, I am here to attest and affirm that our faith and belief in God is central to the American story and informs the values we've expressed in our party's platform. In addition, President Obama recognizes Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, and our party's platform should as well. Mr. Chairman, I have submitted my amendment in writing, and I believe it is being projected on the screen for the delegates to see. I move adoption of the amendment as submitted and shown to the delegates.
A motion has been made. Is there a second? Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, the matter requires a two-thirds vote in the affirmative. All those delegates in favor say...
Now remember, this requires a two-thirds vote. Listen.
Say aye. All those delegates opposed, say no. In the opinion of the... Let me do that again. All of those delegates in favor say aye. All those delegates opposed say no. I guess.
You've got a rule, and then you've got to let them do what they're going to do.
I'll do that one more time. All those delegates in favor say aye. All those delegates opposed say no. In the opinion of the chair, two-thirds have voted in the affirmative. The motion is adopted, and the platform has been amended as shown on the screen. Thank you very much. Thank you. Governor Strickland, thank you again for your service. Governor Strickland, thank you again for your service as chair of the Platform Drafting Committee. Now, everyone,
bend over and take it the way you should as good, solid American Democratic people. If you listen, there is no way that they had a two-thirds majority on that vote. I don't care whether you agree with the platform or not. They just took the right away from the delegates to vote on an issue of their own platform. That's disgusting. So the Democrats are no better than the Republicans. Well, that's what we've been telling you here at Orion. We all tell you the same thing. They're not any damn better. They do the same thing. Now, to really wake you up to something, remember that there was video of Bonehead reading off a teleprompter at the Republican convention. He did nothing but read off the teleprompter. Well, guess what? They did the same thing at the Democratic National Convention. He read off a teleprompter. He just went by. The only thing was he was a little confused because he saw what the teleprompter. I really don't think he wanted to do what he did, but more or less they told him, yeah, do what you're supposed to do. So he read the teleprompter. The teleprompter said, hey, two-thirds having voted, and in the affirmative, the resolution passes. It's kind of like our national elections, isn't it? Doesn't it give you that warm and fuzzy feeling knowing that you're getting screwed constantly? And there's nothing that you can do about it because they run the show. Both parties did the same thing to their delegates. What they did in the Republican convention is they took the delegates, basically they took them away from Ron Paul and shut his people up. They didn't want Ron Paul's message getting out. In the Democratic Party, they shut the Democrats up because they knew that without this adoption being made, they were going to have a fight on their hands that was going to be unbelievable because the American people wouldn't have tolerated it. KB 36, you are absolutely right. It is all scripted. Every cotton-picking thing that they do is scripted behind closed doors. The Republicans wouldn't even let one of their delegates in there. The guy that was on the committee, they put him on a bus to get to the convention, and they drove around. What, the bus driver get lost? He drove around 3 times, just wouldn't pull over and stop to let the people get out, and then he drove off. At least this guy got to see some of the sights, down in Florida. Here they just put a blindfold over everybody's eyes, pulled down their drawers, popped them in the keister a little bit, and said, thank you very much for voting, but we're going to do it our way anyhow.